Archangel Michael is speaking directly to you. Your person has made a final decision. They are walking away from their past for someone new. But who? Open this before you hear it from someone else. My child, my beloved. I was sent directly from the throne of God to reach your soul before this moment slips away. You were never supposed to be the last to know this. But the one you've been praying for, the one whose name you whisper in your heart at night, has already made their final decision. And it has everything to do with you. Please don't skip this. This message was delayed 3 times. Each delay was an attempt to block what was meant for you. But now heaven has overruled it. This message was released. And it's for your ears only. My beloved. They have walked away from their past. For someone new. For something deeper. For a calling they can't explain. But here's what they haven't told anyone. They are still haunted by a shadow. And that shadow has your name on it. Before you assume the worst, you must hear everything. Heaven knows your heart cannot be left broken again. This is why Archangel Michael is speaking now, personally, urgently, because this truth is not for public ears. It's for the chosen. And you are that chosen one. Please, if you feel your heart racing, or a strange quiet surrounding you, it's because heaven has opened a portal of truth just for you. But it won't stay open long. Subscribe now so this sacred truth is never lost. The next few lines were almost erased from the angelic record. What I'm about to reveal can only stay with you. My child, my beloved. They didn't leave because they stopped caring. They walked away because someone whispered a lie about you, a name, a moment, a twisted truth. And they believed it, but only for a moment. They're waking up. Their soul is restless. And right now, right this very second, they are standing between 2 choices. Return to the one they loved, you. Or stay bound to a past that only drained them. And the heavens are waiting to see what you do next. Because your decision now could tilt the outcome. This isn't just about romance. It's about divine realignment. You were never meant to chase someone who couldn't see your worth. But now, they see it. They see the one they rejected, and their spirit is trembling. My beloved one. The Spirit of God says, if you open this message fully, without skipping, you will see what they are hiding, and what they're about to reveal. But if you walk away now, if you turn from this divine alert, you may find out the truth later, from someone who was never meant to carry it. Heaven does not want you to be second to your own prophecy. That's why Archangel Michael is speaking this out loud to your soul. Because what's coming next is more than just a message. It's a spiritual intersection. Your name has been spoken in a dream, not by 1, but 3 messengers. And the one you love has been waking up in the middle of the night, sweating, hearing your name echo through silence. They're scared. Scared of returning to the past. Scared of being rejected by you. Scared of the truth you already know. But you? You're about to rise. Because heaven is on your side. There's a reason you feel this pull. There's a reason you clicked on this. And there's a reason your angels have been hovering closely this entire day. They are trying to make sure you don't miss this moment. My child, listen. You weren't crazy for loving them. You weren't foolish for believing the signs. The person you love is changing. But what you don't know is this: someone else is trying to take your place. Yes. Someone who has watched you, envied your bond, and now sees their chance. But they are not chosen. They are not written in the divine record beside your name. You are the original. And they are only a copy. And copies don't carry the blessing. But you do. That's why Archangel Michael is declaring it now. If you stay still, and listen for the truth in the next few lines, you will know exactly what is about to happen between you and this person. Their friends already suspect. Their family already knows. But only you were left out. Why? Because you were protected from the false version of the story. You were being hidden. Not abandoned. Hidden. Because your value is not for public consumption. And now, they are about to realize, the one they walked away from, was the very one carrying their breakthrough. My child. The decision has been made. They are cutting ties. They are releasing the old. But who they move toward is still undecided. Yes. That's why heaven is intervening. If you allow bitterness to take over, you'll push away what belongs to you. But if you allow this final truth to enter your spirit, you'll see what is meant to return will return. Healed. Transformed. True. Not by your effort, but by divine appointment. My beloved one. A spiritual countdown has begun. You have 3 minutes to finish this message before something major is shown to them. And whether they reach for you or the counterfeit, depends on the next decision you make. Will you listen fully? Will you receive the truth before it finds you in someone else's mouth? Or will you let silence cost you a future you prayed for? Don't test God's grace. Don't delay. Heaven is watching your response. You must open your spirit now. This is no longer about what they feel. It's about what you do with what you know. Because what you do in the next few moments will determine what they remember about you. My child, my beloved. You've been walking around with a weight in your chest. You've smiled through days that should have broken you. You've stayed quiet while your heart screamed for answers. And heaven has watched every single tear, every sleepless night, every question you whispered to the stars when no one was around. Why did they leave? Why did they change? Was any of it even real? But here is the divine truth no one else dared to tell you: they did not leave because of a lack of love. They left because they were running from a version of themselves they couldn't carry into their future. And what you didn't know is this: they are no longer that same person. Something happened. Something divine. And they're on their way back, but not to pick up where things left off. They're coming because something in the spirit realm has pulled them out of their sleep and shown them visions of you. Yes, beloved, visions. Or will you let silence cost you a future you prayed for? Don't test God's grace. Don't delay. Heaven is watching your response. You must open your spirit now. This is no longer about what they feel. It's about what you do with what you know. Because what you do in the next few moments will determine what they remember about you. My child, my beloved, you've been walking around with a weight in your chest. You've smiled through days that should have broken you. You've stayed quiet while your heart screamed for answers. And heaven has watched every single tear, every sleepless night, every question you whispered to the stars when no one was around. Why did they leave? Why did they change? Was any of it even real? But here is the divine truth no one else dared to tell you: they did not leave because of a lack of love. They left because they were running from a version of themselves they couldn't carry into their future. And what you didn't know is this: they are no longer that same person. Something happened. Something divine. And they're on their way back, but not to pick up where things left off. They're coming because something in the spirit realm has pulled them out of their sleep and shown them visions of you. Yes, beloved, visions. And these visions are not random dreams. These are God-ordained encounters, sent through angelic winds, whispering to their soul, "You chose the wrong direction." You see, they thought they were walking toward peace, but found chaos. They thought they were choosing freedom, but became trapped. They thought they were finding someone who would love them better than you, but discovered only copies of warmth, not the fire that your heart carried. Now they are trembling in their silence, asking themselves, "Did I make the worst mistake of my life?" And the heavens are echoing the answer, but only you will hear it fully through this message. Beloved one, do not let your anger blind your discernment. You may be tempted to say, "Let them suffer. Let them feel what I felt." But hear me clearly: the person they're walking away from, the person they once chased in rebellion, that person is not you. That person is the counterfeit, the copy, the distraction sent to delay what heaven had written. But God does not forget His promises. And right now, your name is being spoken in places you've never been. Their family may not speak it, but they feel it. Their friends may not mention it, but they notice how your absence has left a mark on their life. And this person, the one your spirit still feels connected to, is now battling with something deep. A spiritual crossroads. They are choosing whether to listen to their soul, or the noise around them. But the one voice that matters most? Yours. And heaven is giving you a chance to speak without speaking, through how you respond to this divine message. Yes, beloved, this is your response moment. You may think you're just reading words. But you're actually being tested. Watched. Measured. Because what you do now will ripple into what they do next. If you close your heart and say, "I'm done," they may retreat, thinking the door is shut. But if you receive this message with stillness, with humility, with faith, then heaven will move things in your favor in ways no one else can reverse. Not even them. Not even you. Because this isn't about just love. This is about alignment. Restoration. Prophetic timing. You didn't just meet them by accident. You were divinely assigned. But free will caused detours. And now, because of mercy, you're being given one final window, not to chase, not to beg, but to choose what happens next. So hear me, my child, hear me well. They are watching you, even now. Not through messages. Not through words. But through energy. Spirit. Presence. They can feel that something in your world has shifted. That you're no longer waiting, but becoming. That you're no longer desperate, but discerning. And it scares them. It shakes them. Because deep down, they know, if they don't return now, they may lose you to someone who has already been assigned to replace their absence. Yes, another soul, sent by heaven, is being prepared to walk beside you. A person with clarity. With devotion. With answers, not confusion. And your person, the one who once left you guessing, is feeling the pull of divine competition. The race has begun. And the prize is your heart. But who will win it? That, beloved, is still undecided. And that's why I was sent. To bring you this final knowing. Before they make their move. Before they knock on your door. Before they utter that apology that will either repair or ruin everything, depending on how you receive it. You must prepare. Not emotionally. Not romantically. But spiritually. Because this is not a love story. It is a heavenly assignment reaching its critical climax. And right now, the clock is ticking in both realms. In heaven and on earth. And only one person can hold the truth that decides the outcome. That person is you. My child, my beloved. Let me reveal something to you that your heart already suspected, but your mind was too tired to believe. This person, the one who left, the one who confused you, the one whose silence hurt deeper than any argument ever could, they never truly stopped loving you. They just stopped loving the version of themselves they became when they were around you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your light was too bright for their shadows. Your spirit reminded them of everything they had not healed. And instead of rising to meet you at your level, they retreated. They returned to the comfort of what was broken. But brokenness cannot hold the spirit. It eventually crumbles. And now, they are standing among the ruins of what they thought they wanted. Looking around at people who speak their name, but don't speak to their soul. Sleeping next to someone who holds their hand, but not their heart. Laughing in crowds, but crying when they're alone. And all because they walked away from the one thing that was divine, you. But beloved, because this is not a love story. It is a heavenly assignment reaching its critical climax. And right now, the clock is ticking in both realms. In heaven and on earth. And only one person can hold the truth that decides the outcome. That person is you. My child, my beloved. Let me reveal something to you that your heart already suspected, but your mind was too tired to believe. This person, the one who left, the one who confused you, the one whose silence hurt deeper than any argument ever could, they never truly stopped loving you. They just stopped loving the version of themselves they became when they were around you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your light was too bright for their shadows. Your spirit reminded them of everything they had not healed. And instead of rising to meet you at your level, they retreated. They returned to the comfort of what was broken. But brokenness cannot hold the spirit. It eventually crumbles. And now, they are standing among the ruins of what they thought they wanted. Looking around at people who speak their name, but don't speak to their soul. Sleeping next to someone who holds their hand, but not their heart. Laughing in crowds, but crying when they're alone. And all because they walked away from the one thing that was divine, you. But beloved, this is not a time to gloat. It's a time to prepare. Because they are coming back. But not in the way you expect. Not with flowers. Not with grand gestures. But with trembling. With tears. With fear. Because when someone touches divinity and then loses it, it leaves a permanent void. They will try to fill it with noise. With people. With distractions. But the soul always knows. And your name echoes in their silence. They remember your voice. Your presence. Your patience. Your love. And now, they are wondering, would they even want me again? But what they don't know is this: you've changed too. You've grown. You've awakened. And while your love for them hasn't vanished, it's not the same love anymore. It's wiser. It's more sacred. It now knows that love is not just about feeling, but about alignment. My dear one, God says, you are no longer who they left behind. You are not waiting anymore. You are becoming. And your becoming is being watched, by heaven, by your angels, and yes, even by them. The person who thought you would chase, now sees you rising. The person who thought you'd crumble, now sees you glowing. And while they still hold a part of your story, they must now decide if they are worthy of the next chapter. But hear this carefully, beloved, the choice is not just theirs. It's also yours. Heaven is not forcing a reunion. It's offering a reckoning. A moment where truth must be faced. Where apology must be genuine. Where healing must be mutual. And if they come to you unchanged, your silence will be your answer. But if they come reborn, your spirit will know it before they even speak. And that's why this message was sent now. Because they are getting close. They are reaching out, maybe not with words yet, but with energy. Signs. Glimpses. Late-night thoughts that pull on your soul without warning. That's them. Waking up. So I ask you now. Will you open your heart, not with naivety, but with discernment? Will you listen for heaven's signal, not the world's noise? Because what's coming isn't just an emotional return, it's a spiritual test. You will be tested by timing. Tested by doubt. Tested by memory. They may show up just as someone new enters your life. And you'll wonder, which one is the real blessing? But hear me clearly, my beloved, blessings never confuse. True alignment will always bring peace, not chaos. So do not decide by urgency. Decide by peace. And that peace will come only when you surrender this outcome to heaven. Because what's meant for you is now circling you. And it will land only when your heart is ready to hold it, with open hands, not clenched fists. My child, my beloved. There's something I must reveal now that could no longer be hidden. The person you have been crying over, praying for, and trying to forget, they are experiencing what heaven calls the consequence of delay. While you were healing, they were hesitating. While you were growing, they were avoiding. But now, the time for avoiding is over. The angelic realm is shaking their comfort zone. Everything that once distracted them is beginning to fall apart. The false peace they thought they had found has turned to confusion. The person they chose to entertain is no longer holding their attention. Because, beloved, you were not just another chapter, you were their turning point. And the heavens are refusing to let them remain asleep. Each night, while the world is silent, their soul is shouting. Images of you. Glimpses of what they lost. Flashes of moments they didn't value when they had the chance. And they don't know whether they are being haunted by regret, or chased by purpose. But here's what I want you to know, you don't need to chase them to be chosen by them. Because God never designed you to beg for what was built for you. Let that settle. You were not created to compete for affection, to fight for attention, or to shrink so someone else could shine. You were created in the image of the divine, formed with power, patience, and purpose. That's why their spirit remembers you. Even when their mind tries to forget you. That's why the bond still echoes. Not because of obsession, but because something sacred passed between you that no human hands can erase. And even if they try to pretend, even if they smile in public, post their distractions, or speak words that sound final, what they feel in their silence is louder than anything they show. And now, heaven has given them one final window. To turn back. To reach out. To return, not to the old version of you, but to the elevated one. But here is where your test begins. Because God never designed you to beg for what was built for you. Let that settle. You were not created to compete for affection, to fight for attention, or to shrink so someone else could shine. You were created in the image of the divine, formed with power, patience, and purpose. That's why their spirit remembers you. Even when their mind tries to forget you. That's why the bond still echoes. Not because of obsession, but because something sacred passed between you that no human hands can erase. And even if they try to pretend, even if they smile in public, post their distractions, or speak words that sound final, what they feel in their silence is louder than anything they show. And now, heaven has given them one final window. To turn back. To reach out. To return, not to the old version of you, but to the elevated one. But here is where your test begins. Not every return is a restoration. Sometimes people come back not to stay, but to seek closure. And sometimes closure isn't the answer. Sometimes you are the closure. And so heaven needs you to ask yourself something before this moment arrives. If they return, will you be ready to receive them with wisdom? Or will you give in to the emotion that once broke you? Because they are coming. Not weeks from now. Not years. But soon. Very soon. The portal is open. The energy has shifted. Their steps are being stirred. And even now, they are battling themselves, wondering if reaching for you is still allowed. But their soul already knows the answer. It's not about permission. It's about destiny. And destiny is louder than pride. Louder than fear. Louder than delay. Beloved, I say this with all of heaven behind me. This is your moment of power. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to lower yourself to be seen. You are already seen, by the one who made you. And if they cannot recognize your light in this season, they will lose you to someone who does. That's the miracle no one talks about. God doesn't just give second chances. He gives replacements too. And right now, two stories are unfolding. One in which they return changed, refined, humble, and ready. And one in which heaven closes the chapter and brings someone new, someone divine, someone already praying for someone like you. Both stories are ready. But your alignment decides which one plays out. That's why you must stay in peace. Stay in discernment. And above all, stay in position. Because the person who once overlooked you is now seeking what only you carry. And they're about to realize, you were never the one who needed fixing. You were the one who was sent to heal them. My child, my beloved. The moment is drawing near, closer than you even realize. The very air around your life is shifting. Heaven has already begun rearranging circumstances to bring a confrontation between the past and the future. And you, yes, you, stand right at the center of that divine collision. You have no idea how many times they've picked up the phone to call you and then put it down, heart racing, palms sweating, unsure whether you'd even answer. They've typed your name into their screens so many times, only to delete it before pressing send. Because shame is louder now than it was before. They're starting to realize the damage their silence caused. They thought you'd wait forever. But now they feel it, your energy has changed. You are not the same. And that terrifies them. Because deep down, they know, you might finally be okay without them. But here's the part that heaven is aching for you to understand, they were never supposed to leave you. Their soul was assigned to walk with you, not abandon you. And although the path was permitted, it was never ordained. The detour was real, yes, but so was the divine delay that blocked them from receiving peace where they went. You were the peace. You were the presence. And now that absence is louder than any voice around them. The people they surrounded themselves with cannot quiet the noise. Because heaven won't let them. Their own spirit is restless. Their dreams are filled with you. They keep hearing your laughter in the middle of silence. They keep seeing your reflection in crowds of strangers. This is not coincidence, this is awakening. And they are about to step into the most terrifying moment of their life, the return. But beloved, I must ask you something. Will you be able to hear their apology without bitterness in your heart? Will you be able to look them in the eyes and recognize not the one who left, but the one who is trying to return? Because what they say will not match what you expected. They won't have perfect words. They won't arrive with a perfect plan. But they'll be standing there, trembling. Not because they want control again, but because they want forgiveness. They don't just want your affection anymore, they want your acceptance. They are walking away from everything that once looked right on the outside, for the one who always felt right on the inside. You. And they don't even know how to say it yet. But you will feel it when they look at you. Because something about their eyes will carry a weight they never had before, the weight of lessons learned the hard way. And heaven will be watching. Angels will stand still. Because what you say next will shift everything. My beloved, don't make this moment about revenge. Make it about release. Don't make it about proving you were right. Make it about proving that healing is still possible. This person is about to humble themselves in a way they never have before. Not because they're weak, but because they finally see the truth. They gave up something divine, and now they're ready to fight for it. But the question is no longer about whether they'll come back. They will. The question now is, will you still be available? Because while they were hesitating, God was preparing another. And even now, the heavens are waiting to see whose heart your spirit will choose. This is not just a message. It's your moment of choosing. And beloved, you were born for this. My child, my beloved. They don't just want your affection anymore, they want your acceptance. They are walking away from everything that once looked right on the outside, for the one who always felt right on the inside. You. And they don't even know how to say it yet. But you will feel it when they look at you. Because something about their eyes will carry a weight they never had before, the weight of lessons learned the hard way. And heaven will be watching. Angels will stand still. Because what you say next will shift everything. My beloved, don't make this moment about revenge. Make it about release. Don't make it about proving you were right. Make it about proving that healing is still possible. This person is about to humble themselves in a way they never have before. Not because they're weak, but because they finally see the truth. They gave up something divine, and now they're ready to fight for it. But the question is no longer about whether they'll come back. They will. The question now is, will you still be available? Because while they were hesitating, God was preparing another. And even now, the heavens are waiting to see whose heart your spirit will choose. This is not just a message. It's your moment of choosing. And beloved, you were born for this. My child, my beloved. There is a sacred stillness around your name right now, a silence in the spirit realm that feels heavy, but it is not emptiness. It is preparation. Heaven is preparing to witness one of the most important moments of your entire journey. You are about to be approached, not just in the natural, but in the supernatural. The person who walked away, who broke you without realizing it, who treated your divine love like it was optional, they are now being pulled back by a force they don't understand. It's not your beauty. It's not nostalgia. It's not guilt. It is the weight of a soul contract, the one they tried to outrun but now cannot escape. And they are exhausted. Exhausted from pretending they don't care. Exhausted from hiding behind distractions. Exhausted from trying to recreate the fire you gave them. But here's the truth they will never admit out loud: no one has ever held them the way your spirit did. And no one ever will. Because what was between you was not ordinary, it was anointed. Yes, I said anointed. Do you understand what that means, beloved? That means it was set apart. Blessed. Guarded. It was not like the others. And that's why it hurt so much when it ended. That's why you've struggled to move on, not because you're weak, but because your soul knew the value of what was lost. Your heart still holds a place they carved into it. But now, your soul is asking you to look up. Not backward. Because what's coming is not just a return, it's a reckoning. You will soon come face to face with someone who has been broken in your absence. And whether you choose to love them again or let them go forever, this meeting will be divine. Their eyes will tell you the truth their lips cannot speak. Their posture will carry a weight their words will try to hide. They will ask how you've been. But what they really want to know is, have I already been replaced? And, beloved, you must answer with your spirit, not your pride. Because this is not about punishment, this is about prophecy. You are a portal. You are a gate. You are a vessel through which love is purified. And this person? They are standing at the edge of your door, hoping, praying, that the fire hasn't gone cold. But heaven will not allow them to return unchanged. That's why everything in their life is falling apart. They're losing things they once called secure. Losing people they thought were safe. Because you cannot hold divine love with unclean hands. And heaven is washing them, through pain, through disappointment, through heartbreak, so that when they come to you again, they come as something new. But you must also choose. Because God is not forcing you to take them back. He is giving you authority over the decision. He is showing you both paths, reconciliation or release. And both lead to healing. But only one leads to legacy. And if your soul still sees them, truly sees them, even after all the silence, even after all the delay, then know this: it was never over. It was just paused. Because sometimes, love must die in one season to be resurrected in the next. My child, my beloved. There is something sacred unfolding in the unseen, something so tender, so precise, that even the angels are whispering about it. They are watching you with great attention now, because what you are stepping into is not just another chapter, it is a prophecy fulfilled. You've waited. You've wept. You've asked heaven to just give you one clear answer. And here it is, being poured into your spirit right now. The person you thought forgot you, they remember everything. Not just the moments you shared, but the way you made them feel. No one else made them feel safe the way you did. No one else knew how to hold their brokenness without judgment. And no one else, no matter how loud or perfect they seemed, ever felt like home. And that's the word they keep repeating to themselves now. Home. You were their home. And they left it, chasing a mirage, believing that comfort could be found elsewhere, only to discover that every road away from you led to a dead end. They tried to pretend. They tried to replace. But nothing fit. Nothing filled the void. And now, something inside of them has cracked open, not because they wanted it to, but because heaven finally removed the veil from their eyes. And do you know what they saw? You. You, standing tall. You, healing in silence. You, glowing in ways they never imagined possible. You, becoming someone so divine, that it scared them to realize how far they had fallen while you were rising. Beloved, they are afraid they've lost you forever. And maybe they have. But that's the mystery of miracles, even in moments of fear, heaven can still restore. But it must begin with truth. So here it is, the truth they will try to say but won't have the courage to say fully. I didn't leave because I didn't love you. I left because I didn't know how to love you. I didn't know how to receive the kind of love that didn't hurt. I thought love had to be chaotic to be real. But now I know. I was wrong. They want to say it. Their spirit is screaming it. But pride is heavy. Shame is real. And time feels lost. But God is giving them a window. A window to come back. Not to pick up where you left off, but to start again, wholly this time. And you will feel this shift. Your body will sense it before they even appear. That strange moment when your heart pauses. That whisper in the middle of the day when you suddenly think of them. That dream where they stand in front of you, eyes filled with tears. Those are not random. Those are angelic signals. The reunion is already taking place in the spirit before it reaches the earth. And now the question becomes, will you be ready to hear what they could never say before? Because the next time they appear, they won't be hiding behind distractions. They'll be standing in front of you, exposed. And your response will become the voice of heaven in that moment. Will you reflect bitterness? Or will you reflect God? Will you seek revenge? Or will you offer redemption? Only you can choose. But beloved, know this, heaven will give you strength to answer the right way. Even if your hands shake. Even if your eyes fill. Even if your heart wants to run. Because you are not just being visited, you are being trusted. Trusted to handle this moment with grace. Trusted to speak from your soul, not your scars. Trusted to decide the future of a connection that heaven still honors, even if earth tried to destroy it.